Hey everybody, welcome to Listen Money Matters, plugging the drain in your money bath and filling it with wealth. My name is Matt and I'm here as always with Andrew. Andrew, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm staring at your face. I really like that one, actually.
Do you like that
That was
one?
one of my favorite there, yeah.
That was from at Curtis Squatch through
Thanks,
Twitter.
Curtis.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the
highly contentious topic.
Yeah, I think so. The debt snowball method versus the stack method of paying down your debts. But before we get started, are you drinking anything? It's water?
I actually have no liquids in the room right now.
Oh, wow. You're going dry in this episode.
Seriously.
This is a dry run.
Mouth is just, yeah.
I'm drinking water. Before we get started, guys, if you have questions about personal finance or money or investing or paying off your debts or budgeting, email us at listenmoneymatters@gmail.com. And we want your submissions for catchphrases at the beginning of the show. Andrew liked this week's catchphrase, or this week's catchphrase, today's catchphrase, because we're a daily podcast now.
Damn.
Twitter. Send them in Twitter. At Money Matters, man. That's our Twitter handle. We're getting a lot of followers. We are interacting. We want ask questions through Twitter. Send us links that you find. We will retweet. We will do whatever. That's fun. So I want to get into it. I want to get into this because I'm currently writing an article about it. I feel very passionate about this subject. Number one, because first of all, our buddy, our friend, our companion, Dave Ramsey is involved. He is an advocate for the debt snowball method. Now, these are two different methods that we use to pay off debts, right? And they're two just different ways of going about it. But I want to give some stats that Candace had sent over to us from an article on the Huffington Post. And I think these are important. So 4 in 10 millennials consider themselves overwhelmed by debt. So 4 to 10 people
Of our generation.
of our generation feel overwhelmed, and that's in quotes. And now I'll read the rest of it. Wells Fargo found in a recent survey of 1,639 millennials between the ages of 22 and 33, 47% of millennials are devoting half of their paycheck or more to paying debt, and 56% report living paycheck to paycheck. That sucks.
Wow. I didn't know it was that insanely bad.
Yeah. Here's another one.
I knew it was bad, but
Yeah. Here's another one. Ready? College-educated millennials struggle to get by. Half of graduates 2 years out of school are still relying on their family for financial support. According to the University of Arizona study of more than 1,000 of its former students, among graduates who had found full-time jobs, nearly half said they still relied on family support. Only 300 of those surveyed said they were completely self-sufficient.
So I just want to go out and say that maybe speaks worse for the University of Arizona than necessarily everyone.
Isn't that like isn't that the big party school?
It is. That's the one you go for to learn how to properly do a keg stand.
Right.
It's all about the form.
Right. Flip Cup 101.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, because it was all their former students. But still, I imagine it's not that
I can
far
keep it.
off.
Introduction to beer bongs. So those are really bad statistics. These stats should scare you.
Especially if you're thinking of going to Arizona University.
Yeah. I don't want to be one of those 4, and I'm not, but thankfully. So let's, all right. This is like one of those topics that I'm writing about, and what's really overwhelming for me is the math in it. So here, I'm going to give you the overall gist.
Well, one has math and the other one has
emotion.
Faith,
Yeah.
we could say.
No, it's emotion. It's emotional payoff versus mathematical correctness.
Yeah, and I think it's unfair to even isolate it like that. Because I think...
But, I mean, the methods are the same, right? It's just the order in which you do them is different.
Right. I mean, you're paying off your debt. That's the gist of it.
Right. So here's how it works. Here's how you should pay off your debts. Right. You focus on one credit card or one student loan at a time. You pay the minimum balances on all the rest of them, and you put as much money as you can towards just one of them until it's completely paid off. Once it's paid off, that money that you were putting towards it, you move to the next one. However, you're still paying the minimum payment. So you're adding what you use to pay off the first credit card and putting it on top of the next credit card, along with the whatever money you were using for the minimum payment, and you're paying that one off until it's done. And then you take all that money and you move it to the next one. So it's basically stacking. And
well, I was going to say your description actually makes me feel like both are stack and snowball.
Yes,
so it's kind of
the names
even
are
confusing.
The names are not great. I'll admit that. But that's basically the gist of it. That's how you should pay off your credit cards. Adam Carroll had a great analogy. He said if you're putting money towards all of your credit cards, if like you're trying to put, say the minimum payments are for example $20 on every single credit card, and you have 5 credit cards, and now because you think, all right, well I have extra $20, I'm going to put, or an extra $25, I'm going to put $5 on each of them. So now you're paying 20. That's like trying to toast a piece of bread with a flashlight. Right. Was his analogy. And I think that's mathematically that doesn't work. Right? Because you're still collecting interest. You're slowly paying. I mean, minimum payments basically hold you at nothing. They basically keep you at zero.
Right.
Right? You're basically just paying interest at that point.
Well, I think like they give you like that sheet in the mail, and they'll say if you do the minimum payment, it'll take you roughly like 12 years.
Right,
So you are making progress,
but it's very slow progress. Yeah. So you really should be paying the minimum payments on all your cards except for the one you're focusing on. Now here's where the difference.
I just want to interrupt real quick.
Yeah.
Because you quoted Adam. I just want to say he's episode 32 for anyone who wants to listen to that one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah.
Very good.
See, I can be helpful.
You can.
Tell me, what were you going to say?
Well, okay, so the big difference between the stack versus the snowball method, Dave Ramsey, I want to reiterate, recommends the snowball method, and I'll do that one first. The snowball method is paying off your lowest balance credit card or loan first. So if you have a Discover card in this case, doesn't matter what the interest rate is, he's saying whatever the lowest balance is. So if you have a credit card with maybe like $1,000 balance and a 12% interest rate, pay that one off first. Even if you have a card that has $100,000 on it and a 28% interest rate, he's still telling you to pay off the lowest one first. And the reason is because it's an emotional win. It's a quick win in your brain that says, I got rid of one credit card. I can do this. I have the power, right? There is nothing wrong with that. It's for the emotional win. There is something wrong with it because meanwhile, if you have a credit card that's got 28% interest and there's $100,000 on it, you are spending probably more money in interest on that credit card than you would paying off the first one. So mathematically, it's stupid.
Here's the thing where I have a problem is because they say emotional win, and for me, like say I was $100,000 in debt, I would feel emotional wins seeing that 100,000 become 99,000 and 98,000.
Right,
that's progress.
I don't think everyone is like that. You are like that for sure because you are a numbers man. You have a data brain. Whereas for me, maybe that's not. I mean, I did not use the snowball method because I'm not an idiot. Because here's the deal: the stack method.
Wait, you saying you didn't use a stack method?
No, I didn't use the snowball method because I did my research before paying off my debt, and this is why I'm so passionate about it. Is because
see, here's the thing. Now I'm actually confused. Which one's which? Which one's the hardcore numbers one?
The next one I'm going to describe right now.
Which did you describe first?
The snowball.
Oh, okay.
Which is paying off your lowest balance credit card first.
These names are confusing. They're like ridiculously confusing.
No, one snowball, one stack.
I know, but it kind of feels like it describes both. But tell me about the stack.
Stack is when you pay off the highest interest credit card first.
See, I think that makes sense. Like,
Well, it does mathematically make sense.
and like,
It makes
you
sense
don't have
in
to.
two
You don't
ways.
even have to do the math to
No.
know that it makes sense.
It makes sense two ways. You will pay off your debt faster, and you will spend less money overall in interest.
Yeah.
So it costs less in the long run to pay off the debt using the stack method, and you can do it faster.
It's like you could take 2 extra years to pay off your debt because you're like all emotional and
Well,
blah,
here's
blah.
where-
Or you could just get it done.
Here's
and do
where
the
it
right
could
way.
overlap, though. So if you happen to have your highest interest credit card also be your lowest balance credit card, win-win. So you're getting the emotional payoff, and you're doing it correctly, and you're
See,
doing it mathematically correct.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you. I just don't think that's the only emotional thing is getting.
Let me give you an example that I got. So, for example, if you have, I think I found this on Lifehacker or one of those websites, and I probably should look that up. But if you
Like a site on the internet.
yeah, a site on the internet, yeah, one of those web things.
We'll put that in the show notes.
If you have $10,000 credit card at 20% interest, where you pay a minimum payment of $200 a month, you will end up taking 9 years and 8 months to pay off the actual amount of $21,680, including $11,680 in interest.
Okay, you have to read that again.
Okay.
That was a lot of numbers.
All right. This is the problem with the snowball method. If you got a credit card that's got a $10,000, you're maxed out at $10,000, and it's a 20% interest. This is common.
That's pretty high. Yeah.
It's high, yes. This is the one let's say if you're using the snowball method, this is the one you'd be waiting for. This is because this has the highest interest rate.
You'd save this till the end.
You would save this till the end in the snowball method, depending on what your other credit cards have. So the minimum payment is $200 a month. If you were to make the minimum payment,
And
just
do
the minimum
nothing
payment,
else,
nothing
right?
else, it would take you 9 years and 8 months. So basically 10 years to pay off. And at the end of it, you will have paid $21,000 instead of the $10,000.
It's a lot of extra money.
It's
for
it's
no
double.
reason.
It's double.
Yeah.
So don't
You buy your pool for $10,000 and you technically bought more than 2 pools.
You bought 2 pools at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So doesn't it make sense to pay off that credit card first, to put as much money as you can to the highest interest credit card first? It does.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. There is math, right? So and I'll tell you what. I'm going to go read a quote from Dave Ramsey. I should have pulled this up. Because
While you're pulling that up, I just
Yeah.
want to say that there are now liquids in my room. I am
all right.
sipping
So what do you got
a
now?
tasty iced coffee.
See, yeah, because so Dave Ramsey has, I'm looking at the Simple Dollar right now. So Dave Ramsey, he says to make a list of all your, this is the snowball method. He calls it the Dave Ramsey snowball method, which I don't think he came up with, but here it is. He makes
He's got a big ego.
Well, whatever. So do we.
Our ego will crush his ego.
Make a list of all your credit cards, rank in order from the highest balance to the smallest balance. Beginning with the card with the smallest balance, pay as much as you can on the card while paying the minimums on all the other cards. Once the card with the smallest balance is paid off, take the amount you were paying towards that card and apply it to the card with the next lowest balance. Keep on keeping on until all the cards are paid off. Now, in contrast to the snowball method, there's Susie Orman's method. All right, this is interesting.
Her method is different.
Her method, which was found in The Road to Wealth, figure out the largest possible amount you can afford to pay each month towards all your credit card balances together. Add $10 to each minimum payment that your credit card company is asking you to pay. Add up all your minimum payments plus $10 for each. Hopefully the difference between the figure found in step 1 is greater than the figure found in step 3. If so, apply the difference to the card with the highest interest rate.
All right, I'm going to be the dumb one and say, like, I'm not really following.
I'm not following either. I mean, look.
Can you link me real quick? Because this is like, maybe Susie Orman's just her methods in general are not the better or worse ones. They're just the most complex.
Here's the bottom
ones.
line. She says, apply it to the credit card with the highest interest rate.
That's what she says.
That's what she says.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
At the very end, right? So I want to. Here's what I want to do. There's a website called SavvyMoney.com, and what she did, and this is Jean Chatzky, right? So she has two different fictitious people. One option was to pay it off the snowball method, and one option was to pay it off the stacking method.
Right.
Okay. So it's 4 credit cards, and they all have the same balance. They all have the same. They have different minimum payment. They don't. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused here. There's 5 credit cards, right? All with different interest rates.
There's 4 credit cards.
I'm sorry. Jesus, my God, what the hell? Bulletproof coffee does not work.
Your brain is butter right now.
My brain is just melted butter. What the hell, man?
But you're smiling because it was clearly very tasty.
I want a regular cup of coffee with sugar in it.
I have iced coffee right here.
Yeah,
sugar
dude.
and cinnamon. Courtesy of my wife. My wife.
I'm gonna put this in the show notes. But here's the deal: 4 credit cards, all different interest rates. These are 17%, 24.9, 11.9, 28.9. They all have different balances. One has 400, one has 700, one has 2,000, one has 5,000. They all have different minimum payments. And here's the thing. So just in the way that you order them, when you go to pay them off, with the stack method, you will pay
roughly $300 in more, or $400.
$450 you will save. You won't have to pay at the end of it all. And you will get out of debt earlier.
I mean, it's hard to describe because they're not able to see the numbers, and it's like a lot of math involved.
Yeah,
but,
I'm sending you the link there because that's the link of the charts.
No,
again,
I'm looking at it with you. That's why I knew
okay.
there was 4 cards instead of 5.
Oh, okay.
Right, but I guess that the point is like, wait, what's the total of their minimum payments?
See, here's the thing: is that when you like in this scenario, the lowest balance is $400. So you could pay that off probably in 1 month and be a winner, right? But there's a credit card with $5,000, and that's going to take you longer to pay off. So the idea is that you might, with the snowball method, you will get this sense of like accomplishment, and you will keep, and it will help you to keep going. With the stack method is you might like kind of fizzle out and not do it because it's such a large amount to tackle, and you won't feel that initial win. That's the difference.
So check this out.
Yeah.
So there's roughly $8,000 in debt. Yeah, it's like $8,100 in debt.
Mm-hmm.
They're paying $300 a month to pay the whole thing off. Mm-hmm. It would take an extra month and a half if you did it not based on the highest interest first.
Right. Do snowball method.
Right. So an extra month and a half of your life is going to be dedicated in this scenario towards paying down debt. And $8,000 is not a lot of debt.
It's not.
Right? Like most people have like hella
hundreds of thousands. Yeah. Or like,
yeah, so I'm saying imagine
double
like
digits.
if that's $8,000, how much exponentially more time it will take you to pay it off if you just don't take like the 2 minutes to look at all your interest rates and just focus on the biggest one first.
Highest interest rate first.
Right. So you know what? If you have $100,000 debt and you do the Dave Ramsey method, you'll be happily paying and you'll be emotionally thrilled that you'll be paying debt for an additional 2 to 3 years because you couldn't just look at your interest rates and do the smart thing.
Let me try to add an emotional element to the stack method, the one that we recommend, the one that I've used personally. Okay? The emotional element is this. You will have an extra, in this particular case, $450. That if you were to use the other method, you would not have. So you're going to basically spend $450 to get rid of your debt, or not spend that much money. So think about what you can do with the money that you won't be. That's your reward money. Okay? That's the money that you are going to save and you are going to use to go buy yourself something nice because you paid off all your debts and you deserve it.
Yeah, like, and so when you do the stack method, and then you buy yourself a brand new iPhone when you're done.
Or I mean,
to celebrate,
depending on what you're into. I mean,
you buy a brand new. No one buys
NutriBullet, whatever. I don't care.
Exactly, you buy yourself a new iPhone and a NutriBullet, and then you send Dave Ramsey an angry letter in the mail.
An angry letter, personal handwritten letter.
Exactly, signed in blood.
But here's the thing: I get where he's coming from. It's the idea of this emotional win. I'm saying That's fine. Here's the bottom line, though. No matter what method you choose.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Let me finish my point. Can I finish?
God
damn it. No.
That right there is a difference between our podcast and Dave Ramsey's.
Because Dave Ramsey doesn't scream and he's...
Because Dave Ramsey praises God and we say his name in vain.
Okay, that's fair. So, the point is you need to focus on one credit card at a time. You cannot... I know friends that are doing this. You can't blanket, like, overpay on all your credit cards at the same time. It will take you forever. It will not. It will just take you forever, and you will spend a lot more in interest towards the end of it, and you will not feel accomplished. You will feel like I've been doing this for 8 years. Like, why is this not working? Because you are not focusing on one credit card at a time. That is the only thing that these two things have in common. These two methods have in common, right? So at this point, I don't care which method you go for, as long as you're focusing on one credit card. But if you're smart, and we know that you are because you were listening to a podcast about personal finance, so I know you want to get better, and I know you want to get out of debt.
The intention's really
the
what
intention's
matters.
there, so do the smart thing and ignore Dave Ramsey in this case.
Do the smart thing and delete his podcast off of your iPhone.
Right.
And if it's an Android phone, sell it and get an iPhone.
Look, I'm sure, I mean, I don't listen to Dave Ramsey. I'm sure he has some good advice. He can't all be all that bad. But in this case, I feel like he is doing a disservice to his listeners because they are going to end up spending more money and there's more time paying off their dets just to get that initial
You say Dave
win.
Ramsey is not that bad. Did you see the picture of him with doing the dirty Sanchez?
No, that's not real.
I'm pretty sure.
No. Don't spread rumors. Don't spread rumors.
That could have just been another dude with a goatee who's really old. I mean,
so not to pick on Dave Ramsey too much in this episode, because he did not create the debt snowball. He's just an advocate for it. We are an advocate for the stack method. I have an article on Listen Money Matters about paying off my debts, and I will tell you exactly how I did it. I have a whiteboard, and I took a picture of it. I wrote down. I think I had like 4
and this
or
is the
5.
guy who had the BMW.
Oh, yeah.
This is the guy who also had 7 cars. So he clearly,
Yep. I wrote down. I just sat down and I went on, all my statements for my credit. This is just credit card, by the way, because I have no student loan debt. And I went through and I listed out all my credit cards, the name of the card, how much interest it was, annual interest, what the balance was, what the due date was, what the minimum payments were. And I wrote them down all on the whiteboard, and then I ordered them by, interest rate, right? Highest one first. And my highest interest rate one was 24%, and I had, I think, $25,000. I'm sorry, oh God, no, $2,500 on it.
I was like $25,000, dude.
No, but no, it was $2,500.
You were lucky. Your biggest debt was related to cars, and it was lower interest rate.
Yeah. So what I did was I ranked it first, and I made the minimum payments on all the cards. I automated it. So I set up all of my other cards to just automatically pay the minimum payment. I didn't even have to think about it. And I used a combination of my TD Bank at the time, like the automatic bill pay, and like Discover Card has like a pretty useful system, right? So to pay off just do the minimum payment. And then I sat down and I figured out how much I could afford to pay off the $2,500 card, and I put everything I had into it. Any extra money that I made from anything I put towards that card, and I since it was a whiteboard, I could easily erase and write the new number down.
I just want to say also, I want to say 2 things, but I want to say first, like, it was, I think, critical that you put everything in it, because a lot of people ask, like, well, should I save some money or should I invest some money while you're in debt? And it's like, aside from mortgage and aside from some student loan and like your interest rate's like below, say, 5% or something, like, no, like, don't put it all in debt, because it does not make sense. It's the same thing as doing snowball instead of stack, right? You're putting money into the least efficient place possible. And if an emergency happens, I mean, look, you dug yourself. You're already underground. You're deep in a ditch. Mm-hmm. So you got to at least get level before you can.
So I wasn't really keen on what your point was there. So what are you advising here?
Because I was harping on the point that you threw everything extra that you had
Everything.
at your debt.
Yes.
And I'm saying like that is what you do. Aside from the mortgage, aside from student loans with like an extremely low interest rate, you know, like below 5% or something like that.
And aside from 401k matching from your company.
Yeah, and I actually want to say, so I have a post coming out also, like, it'll be out by the time like you listen to this.
Here's the thing.
But always accept free cash. So
Yes.
if you have matching your 401k and you have 100,000 in debt, but and your debt's interest rate is at 25%, you get 100% gain when you contribute to your 401k and there's matching.
Right.
So your return is already 4 times higher than like the worst interest rate.
Here's an easy way to put it. If you are in student loan debt or credit card debt, well, I'm just going to say credit card debt at this point. If you are in credit card debt, you only can invest into one thing, and that is a 401k up to the amount that your employer will match.
And if there's no matching,
Then you don't have that.
or it's not, or if it's like less than 60 cents on the dollar matching, then you can't do it because it doesn't
Pay
make
off your
sense.
debts. Now, I don't know about student loan debt. I mean, I know it's important to pay it off, but student loan debt is
So I
lower
did the
interest rate
calculations
than
before.
credit cards.
Because well, a lot of people have been contesting like the paying down student loan debt versus not, and you get tax credits
Versus investing.
versus investing. So
Yes.
so as a type of debt, real quick, if you up to and it's roughly $41,000 in student loan debt, you can write that off the interest on your taxes. And it's like roughly up to $3,500. So if you have $60,000,
Do you know this for sure?
yes, I know for sure that you can write off up to like it's right around the $40,000 mark, like 41,000 something.
Okay.
So if you have more than that, you have to at least bring it to $40,000. And then you know it's debatable whether you focus on that or not.
Bring what to $40,000?
Your student loan debt.
Okay, and you can write off $40,000 in student loan debt, but anything more than that, you
The
can't
interest.
write off the interest on that.
Yeah, so any interest above $40,000 you can't. However, you can only do this if you make less than $75,000 a year.
Okay,
So
and you're gonna write something about this?
I will write something about this, but
Yeah,
yeah.
to give it more detail, because I'm be honest with you, I'm really not following.
Yeah, okay, so I'll do a separate thing. But to jump back to the debt, I
Yeah.
just want to say on the emotional aspect of the stack method, right? The one where you focus on the interest rate first.
Yes.
What I find inspiring, and maybe there'll be other people as well, is watching the graph, like the amount of your debt, like graphically go to zero. And there's this awesome tool, and friends of the show.
Good. I was
Ready
gonna
for
mention it. Yeah, sorry.
Ready for zero.
Yes.
I mean, besides the fact you can automate your debt payment through them, and you can order it. So, like, literally, the entire process will be automated. So you wouldn't even need to whiteboard it like you did. Like, they will pull in the interest rates. They'll help you. It's all automated. But you're going to see this. I think it's fucking cool, this graph. And I do with my mortgage debt, actually. And you could watch it go down. So you can find, like, inspiration through that, through progress. You know, and I think, if anything, their tool is awesome just for that.
Are you using
besides the automation?
Are you using Ready for Zero for your mortgage debt?
I'm not paying through it. I'm not using the automation.
You're using the free.
I'm using the free one to just
Okay.
track because I find it interesting, and I also,
I should do that.
yeah, you know, I just think it's cool. Like, and you know what? The thing is, like, for all of the greatness of Mint, it's not so great in the graphically tracking and reporting on debt.
Yeah.
Just like it's not so great on the investment piece, and I'm actually digging into personal capital. And I think I'm going to write stuff on that. But at least on the debt side, like, they should definitely check out Ready for Zero because
It's free.
it's free and it's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's free, and if you want to pay your bills through it, so like have it automatically just pay out, they have a paid service for that. All right. All right. I think that's it.
Same.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Remember, don't stop sending me stuff through the Skype, 'cause that picks up on the thing.
I like to text you sweet nothings.
Yeah,
while we
well, still
talk.
text it to me through iMessage. Since we're not in the same room. I didn't know if you guys knew that. We're not in the same room.
Like only on like I think 2 or 3 of our episodes.
Yeah, we were in the same room. Yeah. We'll let you know.
But we do have plans to possibly do it in like a bar or something in the future.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
So it'll be super loud. But
email us, listenmoneymatters@gmail.com if you want your questions answered. If you want to, maybe state your case for the snowball method.
Argue with us.
Argue with us, sure.
We argue with many listeners over things. So
I don't know if I would I don't know if I would necessarily put it that way.
No, I mean, like, people have doubts about what we say, and so we discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm writing a post on this, and I'll break down the numbers, and it'll be graphical, so it'll look cool, and you'll be able to see it in a visual representation. And look, here's the thing.
Sweet sassy molassie.
If you guys like the show, leave us a review on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you listen, preferably iTunes, because we are climbing the charts, my friends. We are climbing.
So this is going to go live 3 weeks after we've already been in the top 10.
Yeah, we've been in the top 10. We are coming after you, Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman. We are tailing you. And in order to get even closer, we need reviews. Now, I'm going to read a review that I found pretty good. pretty good.
This isn't the one that I want to read, right?
It is the one you want to read.
So then I want to read it. Damn it. I'm reading this one right now. So it's by Robots 1, Human 0, which is just about like the coolest name ever. So like we already loved it just because that was an awesome review name. And it's real financial talk for real people, 5 stars. And he says, or she says,
yep, we don't know.
Let me start off by saying I fell in love with this podcast on first listen. I found it by browsing around for student loan advice and listened to their interview with the broke, busted, and disgusted guy.
Which we mentioned on the show today.
Right, yeah, and he was an awesome guest. What I love about this show is that it feels like real people talking to you about financial problems and advice. Unlike most podcasts where it feels like you're listening to a lecture. Very casual and laid back. Also, to anyone who hates their opening segments, that's the beauty of this podcast. Fuck yeah. Like, that was like, I was reading this, I was like, yeah, because so many people are like, They're letting us in on their lives, ... sort of. By telling us what they're drinking or telling us about their weekend, we get a glimpse into the real personalities of these hosts. It's what makes this podcast so real. I also enjoy the tidbits they share about their financial screw-ups and blunders. It helps the average listener relate. TLDR.
What does that mean?
Or for non-internet people like you, too long, didn't read. So it's like a summary.
I didn't know this. I thought it was a typo.
No, TLDR, so too long, didn't read. For the people who don't care, this is what they said. Raw and relatable podcast that is fun and easy to listen to with a dash of comedic relief and mixed up with a NutriBullet. Boom! NutriBullet. They're flying off the shelves. It's crazy. And then just they end it with, keep it up, guys. I can listen to this podcast every day forever. And I just want to add a little artistic thing. I could listen to this podcast every damn day.
Every damn day.
Every damn day.
You know, I actually hate NutriBullet. I didn't know if I ever told you that. I think they're the stupidest invention on the planet.
So, if you want to show Matt what's up, I think you should go to this review and say, yes, it was helpful. And let's make this one the top so that just everyone who sees the podcast knows about NutriBullet.
I think NutriBullets are stupid. They're those made-for-TV little tiny blenders that suck balls, and you should get you should get a Vitamix. Get a blender that
Vitamix.
Get a blender that will last you forever.
Dude,
that'll make anything.
The way that they made it is such that it's like individual cups and it's just...
Yeah, it's stupid.
No, because you never have to clean the blades and shit, or it's just such a...
You absolutely have to clean the blades.
All right, shut up.
A Vitamix is one of those blenders you'll buy. You know, a NutriBullet you'll buy every year because it's made from TV plastic Taiwanese crap.
Do you remember when they used to have Shockwave videos and it was like called like Cage Match, Death Match or something?
I do remember the Shockwave videos, yeah.
Yeah, so they had like Cage Match and it would be like Jesus versus the devil or something. Okay. And there should be a cage match of NutriBullet versus Vita
What's the
Lame
name?
or whatever you're...
There's that YouTube series called like Will It Blend? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if it is. It might be Vitamix.
No. It's like that high brow one. I mean, it's actually not.
That's what Vitamixes are.
Oh, really? Nah, I think you're wrong, dude. I don't think it's Vitamix. Will it blends? This is actually the favorite part of Blend Tech. Dude.
Yeah. They should blend a NutriBullet.
Fuck you. The NutriBullet wouldn't fit because it's too big.
No, they blended an iPad once. It'll fit.
I know, I remember that.
It'll fit.
You know, actually, that's awesome. I should see if they could blend a NutriBullet.
Yeah, blend.
How funny would that be?
It would be funny because it actually would work. I think.
I'm sure it would work.
And yeah. So, all right. Last but not least, if you guys want to learn about personal finance and money management, we're always writing new stuff and posting up new articles. ListenMoneyMatters.com and ListenMoneyMatters.com/show. I can't say /show. So so many things that I have to say.
Suffering succotash.
/show. That's it, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we look forward to the next episode. Later, bud.
Later, man.